Hello and welcome to round 10 of the Netball New South Wales Premier League. I'm Brittany Carter. Tonight we see two teams in a rough spot take the show court. The Manly Warringah Sapphires, who are used to success, have lost their last 4 games and are sitting 6th on the ladder. Their opponent, the Panthers, are also in a bit of a losing funk. After losing some really tight matches earlier this season, they've suffered some pretty big defeats. Last week they went down to the UTS Sparks by 23 goals. But with another game comes fresh opportunity, and we're hoping it'll be a close battle here for all of you watching Bar TV back home. Joining us again in the expert chair tonight is former English player, New South Wales Swiss defensive coach, Sonia McCloma. Sonia, it's good to have you back.
It's good to be back for another evening of all things netball.
Yeah, and only 5 weeks left till the semi-finals now, so it is a race to the end.
Yeah, it is, and the teams that are sitting at the bottom have got something to prove, so they're going to want to finish their seasons on a high, especially if they've had a slow start. So I think tonight's game's going to be good.
So Panthers cannot make the finals, but the Manly Warringah Sapphires, if they win every game and a couple of other results go their way, they may make it, but it's not looking good at the moment. And Panthers getting on the board quickly. Wasn't smooth, but they got the goal on the board, Sonia.
Yeah, they did, and Steph McGugan was out looking hunting. So this is going to, I guess it's going to be a little idea and a peek into how her game's going to be for the rest of the evening.
Our umpires tonight, Jess Clay and Emma Burgess.
And that was a good feed by Brooke in the centre into Georgia Marshall. So it's interesting to see her there. She's normally playing at the wing defence position. So Brooks moved across, so it'll be interesting to see how she goes throughout the game.
Turnover here, Sapphire's ball. Owner Shaughnessy going to Johns. Straight in front, Little. Now into the pocket. And Marshall looking for the ball. Puts it up through the net, so that'll be 2 from 2 for her. Last week she shot at 80%, 37 from 46 goals. So she's looking good early.
Oh, that was good backup by Tegan O'Shaughnessy. Little just couldn't get out for that centre pass, so it's good to see her defenders coming back and backing her up. And it's good to see Tegan O'Shaughnessy out there at goal defence. She's normally backing goalkeeper, especially for the Giants, so she's changing up her position. It's good to see her running and see how she goes throughout the game.
Came back from a pretty serious injury this year too.
Yeah, so she's been riddled with a few injuries throughout, so it is actually good to see her, and seeing her out in that goal defence position is going to be good.
Makunde coming back to Rodwell. And now just on that edge of the circle, they swing.
And that was a good swing by Amarangi Malasala to open up space for herself. Very smart girl.
We're very lucky because there's a couple of super netball players in here at the moment, Sonia. I know that they're not full-time, some of them, but certainly we've got some stars on court tonight.
Yeah, definitely. Amarangi got brought into the Swifts a couple of weeks back and actually got, I think she got a number out of that. So it's actually good to see, good to see her playing. And she was brought in with the A&L team for the Waratahs as well. So for her being here, I think it's good for the girls. And it'll be good for the Panthers team to have someone with that experience on their side. And the same goes, I guess you look at Georgia Marshall with the Sapphires as well as Tegan, both Giants representatives. And seeing them both out on the court is going to be good for these guys for the rest of their season.
So Amarangi actually played in the ANZ Championship over in New Zealand, didn't she?
Yeah, so she was under the Magic.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, she was going to take under them. So getting her across into Sydney and for the Waratahs has been a great pickup. And
you've just seen how strong she is right now, dictating where she wants the ball inside that circle.
Yeah, and the matchup between her and Tegan is going to be a good one to watch. So we'll keep our eye on see how they both go throughout the game.
Lawrence with the centre pass for the Sapphires, and they have to go to defence. Pushing up through the court now. On the edge of the circle, Lawrence feeding to Marshall just through the hands of Talanoa. And on the baseline, she's good again, straight through.
Yeah, and that was a good drive by Georgia Marshall, and a great feed.
Little 2-goal lead for the Sapphires.
And that was good cover from Tegan on that first drive. So something she's going to readjust. It's something that Amarangi's going to have to keep readjusting what she does off her centre passes. It's interesting to see Johns out there in the wing defence position. So I want to see how she goes as well if her and Brooke Lawrence's switch.
I think she was on the block in New Zealand. I believe.
Was she?
Yeah, I'll have to do my reading up on that. But I believe the last Sapphires game I called it, we were talking about her being from New Zealand and on the block.
I wonder if they won. We definitely know she comes from a touch background due to her throws. And that was a good take by Nalani Makunde in the air against McGugan.
McGugan, yeah. 2 tall players at the back.
And I think Nalani just got a bit of a hit to the mouth there, so it's going to be a bit of a tussle in that circle as well.
Quick work between Little and Lawrence sees them inside the circle. Front cut from Georgia Marshall. She's looking really strong early and straight through that hoop again, 6-4. So I've pulled out my notes on Jamie Johns, was on the block New Zealand. Don't have anything about whether she won or not, but now living over here, she's been travelling and up on the northern beaches. So
living a good life.
Yeah.
I'm playing a bit of netball in between that.
Like you said, good life, right? 1 goal divides these teams. And they're edging on that breaking sort of back here, Sonia, like they could be definitely pulled up for that if they're not careful.
Yeah, they're going to have to look at it. I think bringing in Audrey Little I think she's normally from the under-23, so she's been brought up into the opens team in the wing attack position. I think she's done a great job on the line.
Ball won by McGugan.
Yeah, well read by her. And like we said, her first movement was to attack the ball, so that might be something that she's been told not to do by her coaches. So it's good to see her looking for those flies and intercepts.
Cantwell, she might be one of the shortest players on court, but she's solid when it comes to her accuracy in the circle. Now Panthers centre, Malasala to Berry, coming back now into that mid-court. Just struggling to move into the goal third.
Yeah, and that's good defensive pressure by the Sapphires to hold up the Penrith attack line. So that was good pressure, just opened up in the back to Makunda. Brooke Lawrence just looking for an obstruction call from the umpires, but nothing came. And then Little just couldn't nail that pass into Georgia on that one-on-one.
And these things are going to happen with some of the younger players filling up to opens, aren't they, Sonia? Because they just haven't had as much time to play the game of netball, especially at such a high level like this.
Yeah, and they're going to be under a bit more pressure, and just a lot of expectations going to be put on them. So it's going to be important for them to just settle and just play their game. You know, they're there for a reason.
So going end to end here. McGugan with a throw in for the Sapphires. Oh, Lawrence trying to come through Makunde. She did have a strong hold, but maybe a little close.
Yeah, and Lawrence did step in, so she's going to have to watch that. And, you know, Makunde will just give her a bit more space next time and maybe get the call.
O'Shaughnessy looking long, finds Cantwell inside that goal third, and she goes straight to Marshall. A really good understanding between these two shooters.
Yeah, their combination, they've worked with each other for a few years now, so I expect to see their combination grow throughout this game.
Berry to Malasala.
And that was a better move by Malasala, a little fake, swinging it across to draw McGugan and then into Makunde. So that was very smart by her, and that's what I think Amarangi Malasala does bring to the game, and she'll bring towards the Panthers attack line. Just that's the game smarts and awareness.
Little coming back to reset with Johns. In the pocket now, Lawrence. Easy feed into Marshall. Would you like to see Talanoa come around the front?
Yeah, I think Georgia Marshall holds her body very well and uses her space and uses the space well. So she's going to have to keep readjusting on her and seeing what she can pick up. And Petty's an experienced goalkeeper, so for her, it's something that she's capable of doing. She just has to get her feet moving so she can actually open up. And good 3-second call on Amarangi.
Defensive pressure from the Sting. From the Sapphires, stuck in last week.
I know.
Sees turnover, but straight into the hands of the Panthers. That's a costly mistake.
Yeah, just a bit sloppy through their mid-court. So let's see if they work hard to get this ball back. This is great defensive pressure. They're holding up the Panthers' front end, and Johns gets the turnover. So
Lawrence to Little, coming back to Johns. Now inside that circle, Cantwell just finding a better position to take the shot from. And nails it. They hit 10 Sapphires. They're up by 3.
Yeah, and Audrey Little's done a lot of work in that attack end for the Sapphires. So I think that she's been a great asset and a great bringing in for that team.
A chance to go back-to-back here, and Marshall with those long arms pulls the ball in on the tips of her fingers and puts it straight through the hoop.
That was better defensive pressure by the Sapphires on that line, stopping the Penrith girls from coming through.
Long now, Malasala looking to come into that goal third. Makunde has come out. She goes straight to Rodwell and is able to receive the ball just under the post, drawing a penalty as well.
And that was a good feed into her by Rodwell. And I guess putting those feeds up does draw the penalty. So as a midcourt, it's good to put her up and see what we can get out of it.
Also the fact that they know Nakunde's limits, like they knew she was going to be able to get there whether she got the contact in the back or not.
Yeah, she's got good height and good elevation.
Front cut from Cantwell, sees her on the baseline and now through that net.
And Cantwell's really connecting well with Little. Also, they've made a change. So a new goal defence. Oh, new goal defence.
So Leah Tavita has come on in goal defence. Why do you think they've made that change so early?
I just think Telenor was getting beaten in the air with Georgia Marshall, so they need to change it up, and they probably need a more mobile goalkeeper back there to change and mix up the space, and already they've got success.
Bradley with a throw in on the back line. First touch of the ball. Oh, she just gets the pass to Russell.
Russell was able to hold on to that.
Edge of the circle now. Malasala using Rodwell. Just edging towards that post. Steady shot. I should say steady pass. Looked like it was going to be a shot. Drawing the defenders in a nice fake.
Yeah, and I think because they're playing catch-up at this point, it is important that Malasala does look for the easier shots and the shooter passes. So it's good to see her doing that.
Swinging the circle. Cantwell finds the ball right in front. Nails it. So the accuracy of this Sapphires shooting lineup is what keeps them in the game a lot of the time. Because it's all very well to turn over ball, but if you can't convert it, Sonia, then there's no point doing it.
Yeah, definitely. So the Panthers are under a lot of pressure in their attack line. So the Sapphires are putting on good defensive pressure, holding up their whole front line. So they're going to have to look for something that to open it up at the back end or the back of the court. And that might just be it, the feed into Makunde.
So Rodwell's quite a young player, came from the Central Coast to the Panthers. But the smarts of that was quite impressive.
Yeah, I think she's actually a smart player, and she's always in the contest. And as you see there, like height-wise, Brooke Lawrence does have the height advantage above her, but she will be in that contest and is not afraid to go up and body up on her players.
Rodwell looking over the hands of Lawrence. Through the hands of Malasala and over the side of the court.
Yeah, and again, that was from good defensive pressure from the Sapphires. So they're actually holding up. So Penrith are going to have to find the space and make sure they place the passes. They're up against a good defensive line.
Two Sapphires players going for the one ball. Lucky no one was hurt.
You know, better two than none. So... I thought Cordell was trying to set up for that front space. She does like that front space in the circle. It's such a small goal attack. And I think that the natural habit for the defenders is to drop back onto Georgia Marshall because she's so tall, but Cantwell can shoot. So they've got to mix up what they do in that back-end circle.
Well, especially when you're tall, it can be quite hard to defend a short, I was going to say young man, a short shooter like Cantwell because her footwork is going to be a little bit speedier. You're going to be a bit slower to the ball, and it's just harder to combat.
Yeah. Definitely. So just a misunderstanding between Lawrence and Little there off a centre pass.
Bradley, the pass here for the Panthers. Over the top, Rodwell looking into that goal third. Malasala, Makunde's already got her hands up. Love the confidence.
Yeah, and I like the defensive pressure putting on by Johns. She's on everything, and she's putting Brittany Berry under all sorts of pressure. She's on that tight one-on-one, and she's actually putting in some screens down, blocking up and holding up players. So very smart by pushing her back into that wing defense position.
Inside now, Malasala converts, takes the Panthers to 11, back within 4.
So that was quick foot speed by Johns to get in front of her player and to set up that wall defense, which is working so well for them.
Berry has to come back. She's not 100% confident about that long pass.
No, she's not, and I think she shouldn't be looking for those long passes because I think that's what the Sapphires defence is trying to set up. And that was a good pop by Makunde. And a great finish.
Nice work by these young shooters. Little straight out for the Sapphires centre pass. Drawing a penalty. It's just inside that middle third.
Yeah, Bradley just came out a little too early and a bit premature on that run. She just held back, just left Georgia Marshall open at that back end. So I think the Panthers are definitely going to need a better connection between their centre wing defence and just that connection on that line so that the goalkeeper Bradley's not drawn out too soon or too early. Again, Panthers are doing a lot of work in their attack end to find space, and that's through good defence of the Sapphires. Just a bit short.
Nice hold by O'Shaughnessy over Makunde.
Yeah, that was a good lean, but Makunde can match her for height, so it's interesting for that backhand. They're going to have to change up what they do over the shot.
Overhead pass, Little straight into Marshall, just on the edge now, teetering on that circle.
Yeah, Little's been a great impact player for this team, and I think she's done a lot of work in that attack end and a great asset. She's not afraid to feed someone like Georgia Marshall, and she's seeing it also and letting that ball go. So it's good to see her out there in the opens.
Berry to Nakunde, having to come back to that transverse line. 1-2 with Berry. Rodwell at the top. Now straight to Nakunde. Now I talked about the accuracy of the Sapphires end, but last week Nailani Makunde shot 87%, so she only missed 4 goals, 26 out of 30. That's a lot of heavy lifting.
Yeah, that definitely is, and the ball does go through, and you can see there, even Russell there, she's got 2 options, and she's looking for Makunde back at the post, even though she is doubled. So that's good confidence from their attacker to give that ball up into their shooter.
End of the first quarter, Sapphires are up by 4 goals, 18-14. How do you see this playing out in the next quarter, Sonia?
I think Penrith are going to, their attack line need to just work on getting a bit more depth. So I think that's something that the coaches through Margie Parr is going to have to address and see how she can open up that attacking and draw and keep the Sapphire defenders away from each other and split and playing more that one-on-one. And I think when they do that and they isolate their players, they've got more success with that ball and that feed into Nanali Makunde.
Now, if you were coaching either of these sides, would you make changes?
No, I wouldn't. Actually, at this point, I think, I just think Panthers need to tidy up and tighten up with Lauren Russell at that back end in that wing defence position and see if they can change up what she's doing. I think Jasmine Rodwell and even with Leah Tavita are doing a good job on that one-on-one and just running their players a bit more. So I think they just need to get a bit more communication for themselves at the top of that circle defensively.
All right, well, we're going to take a little break. We'll be back for the second quarter. Heading out for the second quarter, the Sapphires have a lead of 4. And it'll be Panthers with the ball first. Jasmine Rodwell is ready.
And they've made a change to the Panthers, so they've brought on Marissa Mentis into that wing attack position. So Brittany Berry's come off.
And why do you think they've made that change?
I just think, like we said, they were getting congested and stuck in that attack then on that third line. So hopefully it's to create more depth in their attack end.
Long ball, O'Shaughnessy into Marshall. Bouncing now, top of the circle, Little finds Cantwell, and a fair way out. She attempts the shot, nails it, bouncing and then straight through.
Yeah, she's such a confident shooter, and I think that's what I like about her. And for years, she kind of runs around unassumingly, but actually can nail those big shots. So I think, you know, defenders have to pay her a lot of attention.
Melisala looking in, coming back to Rodwell instead, just able to get hang of that ball with the outside arm. Nakunde. Oh, bad luck to Lawrence. There's a lot of effort put in there.
Yeah, and the Panthers attacking are just trying to take their time and line the ball. But again, looking for the long ball. Oh, off the post, that feed was.
Not allowed to use the post, are you?
Well, you can if you throw the ball at it first. You just can't lean on it as a player.
Cantwell into Marshall. Long loopy pass to Little on the side of the court. Coming back to the transverse line. Now Lawrence looking in. 1 foot inside. Cantwell tries to feed to Marshall and it goes over the back line. It's a nice defensive pressure.
Yeah, that was a good touch on that ball by Bradley. It's good to see her getting up in the air and contesting that pass.
Cantwell
and
misses.
A miss and a good
Bradley,
rebound again by Bradley.
Straight on the crumbs. Tavita coming back to Russell. Strong pass now into that mid-court. Slowly working their way up here, the Panthers. Persistence is paying off.
Oh.
But coming out is Steph McGugan. She was hunting, and it's a nice turnover.
Yeah, just a pressure ball pass from Tavita. So, again, what was working for Panthers is that slow, patient feeds into their attacking, so they're going to have to go back to that.
Both teams have scored 2 goals each so far this quarter.
And that was a good receive by Mentor. She does take these strong drives, so it's good to see her doing that. Makunde's coming out, but now she's got an attacker that is coming into that space. She's going to have to hold back and maybe not come out too early.
Swinging, Rodwell, loopy feed.
Wishful thinking.
Nakunde can't keep it in play.
Yeah, it was just a big ball and just a badly placed pass from Rodwell. So I was going to work hard to try and get that back.
Sapphire's already up their end.
And the Sapphires, they transition so quickly. They move the ball, they let the ball go, and they direct drives. Just couldn't nail the shot. That's 2 they've missed down this end, so that gives Panthers another opportunity to score.
Russell strong to Rodwell. I'm really liking her shoulder passes. Receiving again on the edge of the transverse line. Melisala in the air, fancy footwork. Oh, pass is not good, and the Sapphires jump on it.
Yeah, again, Mentis and Rodwell just in the same space, so it is a new attack line, but another opportunity comes the Panthers' way. Just a misunderstanding by the Sapphires attack end.
Really good vision and teamwork from Bradley and Tavita there. And it was all about timing that intercept.
Yeah, and again, another mistake by the Sapphires attack end, just misplacement of ball. So it's good to see the Penrith defenders getting over that and giving their team opportunities. And this is definitely a better transition from the Penrith attack end. Yeah, just touching the ball, McGugan. So defenders just got to keep their hands just above the ball. Any contact with that, then you could be out of play. I think that ball went up and back 4 times. No, maybe 5 times with no goal.
Bit of tennis happening.
It was. Panthers ball.
Lawrence
off Lawrence.
Can't believe it.
I thought it was off her as well, but
I didn't see, to be fair.
I'm just pro defenders anyway, so.
Of course. Through the hands of Tavita and straight into Tegan O'Shaughnessy's.
Yeah, that was good by John. She just put the attacker off.
Nice outside arm from Bradley. She's doing a lot of work in that circle.
Yeah, she is, and the feeders just haven't settled yet for the Sapphires. So I think they're going to have to settle because, you know, it's free in it now. And that was a better ball into Georgia Marshall.
Right underneath, she has to take a little lean back for the shot. Just over 10 minutes to play before half-time.
And again, a better, more dynamic attack from the Panthers. So better ball movement and ball speed. And good little shuffle shot, yeah. And
Lovely work.
Yeah, that was better from their attacking. So I think this change with bringing Mentis on is definitely working for them.
Cantwell looks long. Split stance from Marshall, sees her edge towards the post. She produces another. 22-18 the score. Pass too much for Mentis to control.
Yeah, I just think it was a sloppy pass by Rodwell. Her hand is taped up, so I don't know whether that's playing a part in her feeds, but I guess of the centre pass you've got, that's one of the responsibilities. You've got to get that ball out and put a good pass out. The Sapphires got on with that very quickly, didn't they?
Wasting no time whatsoever.
Yeah.
Some more of their subs on the bench. Little hand from Rodwell, but Cantwell does well to collect and hang on to possession for the Sapphires. O'Shannessy to take this pass now. Lawrence into Little. Going round the body of a defender, and the feed is too much for Marshall. She's tall, but just not that tall, Sonia.
Yeah, and just not nailing the pass. And, you know, like you said, Brooke Lawrence is moving into that centre position. So for her, it's that fatigue and just making sure you do know the shots. But both teams going long unnecessarily. So that cross-court ball is not working for Panthers, so they've got to shorten it back up.
Hand from Mentis sees the ball. Back with the Panthers. So this mid-court is where a lot of the ball is being won.
Yeah, or we could say lost by both teams.
Yeah.
And that was a good fake by Masala and then drawn the contact on Makunde.
For the difference. And Panthers have another chance to go back-to-back here. Looking in, Malasala providing an option.
And that was good presented by Makunde. No contact called on her, though. Get from Lawrence.
Fairway out. Oh, how is the no-look pass?
And that was a good shooter pass from Malasala.
She's set up and ready to go for the next centre pass, too.
She's a workhorse.
Coming back to Lawrence. Marshall going 1-2 with her. Now low to Cantwell. Offloading. And up through that net.
And that felt more controlled from the Sapphires attacking. So something they're going to need to settle into this quarter. So hopefully they just maintain that throughout the quarter.
Makunde, hands up, ready to go. And just pushed outside of court by McGugan. So she'll get another shot at it here. Doesn't miss. The difference 3 with 7 minutes to play before halftime.
Oh, Russell gets the contact call. And that was a good hustle from her, the wing defence off that centre pass. So I'm glad that she came up with that ball.
A little tip from Wadwell helped her out.
Yeah. So it seems like the Panther attacking has just come alive slightly.
Ooh. I was worried about O'Shannessy banging into that post then, but she looks unaffected, which is great.
I know, it was a massive hit to the post.
Little to Marshall, who's come outside, swinging. Lawrence looking in. Oh, clever work, nice hands. And lovely shot.
That was good hands over pressure by Johns. And again by Lawrence. So Tegan O'Shannessy's just getting lost a little bit, trying to decide whether she should drop back on the double on Makunde or work Masala. So I think she's got to make a decision.
That was unfortunate. O'Shannessy came up with an intercept, but Johns just lost her balance.
And fell offside.
Yes.
And Masala just trying to get the play moving quickly. Oh, she gets another shot.
Right space for the rebound. She's a quick thinker, though, isn't she? You see her just tick, the thoughts are ticking over in her head, and the next minute she's just making something happen, setting up the play.
Yeah, and the shooter balls are working for her. So, you know, for McGugan and O'Shannessy, they're going to have to keep their heads up, but just keep an eye on it, on the ball.
Sapphires went to go long there, but a little tip from Bradley disrupted that thought. And now Lawrence goes to Cantwell, who's in front.
Yeah, Bradley just a bit short on that shot. And against Cantwell, who is an accurate shooter, you do want to make sure they have defensive pressure over her shot. So something they're going to have to keep looking at and keep adjusting to the umpire's call.
Russell coming out to help Rodwell with the centre pass. Now Mentis gives it to Rodwell. Edge of the circle, Malasala looks to feed. Oh, unlucky for O'Shaughnessy. Makunde does end up with it.
Yeah, and that was good by Makunde to get a touch and to actually hold on and keep that ball. So that was definitely a misplaced pass. So it was good for her to keep possession and get the score. And I think that's what Panthers need. They need a turnover to kind of creep in on that 4-goal gap.
And Makunde is quite a younger player too, so the fact that she's holding a nerve against two more experienced players is a really good sign.
Yes, definitely. And I think she just had a little word with Masala, so it'll be interesting to see what they do this next attacking run.
Masala out for that centre pass. Let's see what they can set up. Tavita bouncing to Rodwell. Quick to Mentis.
Yep, and again, good defensive pressure by the Sapphires. So the work that Johns and Lawrence are doing and just shutting down that top of the circle, the drive with that one-on-one is working for them.
2 balls in one passage of play that have just been kept inside the court. Nice balance from the Sapphires. And Cantwell can't finish the job. Panthers straight on the crumbs of that missed shot.
Yeah, and Leah Tavia has done a great job over Cantwell's shot and also just stopping that shooter pass. It's always good to see a goal defence out there hedging in between the 2 passes.
Oh, well done by Cantwell.
That was a great interception. Something that could drill you do.
It was a flat-footed move from the Panthers. They're just waiting for that pass, and she just had the smarts to just jump in between.
So Panthers are getting opportunities and they are getting the turnovers, just not capitalising on them. Something they're going to have to look at once they do get the turnovers to reward their back end.
So Sapphires go back-to-back here, and now that lead is out to 6. That's the highest it's been so far this match. So at quarter time, the difference was 4, 18-14, and they've been able to maintain that throughout most of this quarter. But now, with 3 minutes on the clock, it is pushing out, Son.
Yeah, it is. So again, an opportunity for the Panthers, and they're just going to be patient. When they are patient with the ball and the patient with their feeds, they get success. So it's something they have to work on, I guess, in the second half.
Little coming back to Johns, hip-high passing. There's the touch throwing in there.
Yeah, Little and Lawrence are connecting very well, and Little just maintains the workload.
A really nice cohesion between those Sapphires attacking front line.
And that was a great touch by Rodwell, just wasn't able to get that turnover.
Quick work from Marshall, bouncing to swing, and now Little finds Cantwell. They're going to go again.
It's so good to see these younger players bodying up and contesting every pass, and they're on everything. So, you know, it's good for them to be in that contest.
Okay, Talanoa coming back on to replace Tavita, but instead she's going to be in that goal defence position this time.
Yeah, so maybe it's just to rest Tavita's legs.
A long way out, Masala, swish, a lot of confidence, I'm liking it.
Yeah, she had both defenders jumping on her shot, so it was good to see her put that shot up. And she has quite a high shot anyway, so the defenders in O'Shaughnessy and Maguna have to time that jump more. Again, good defensive pressure from the Sapphires. So I love what they're doing on the line. They're working as a unit, and they're putting the Panthers under all sorts of pressure and forcing that ball back.
The pressure starts from that centre pass. They're not able to get that centre pass to their attackers very quickly at all, and quite often they're having to come back to the defence. So you're right, that defensive pressure is starting right from that centre pass and being shown throughout the shot.
Yes.
One minute left, 8 the difference between these two sides in round 10.
And that was a better pass from Masala into Makunde, and great finish by Makunde. So with the Panthers, they just need to get her the ball. She's not missing much. So it's just that confidence from her feeders to get that pass in.
Little to Marshall, clock ticking down, top of the circle now. Lawrence goes back to Marshall, and on that baseline is where she's comfortable. She's not going to miss from there. Russell coming through, gives Malasala an option. Now edge of the circle. Rodwell Feeds to Makunde. Can't quite get it to her, though.
Yeah, just lacking a little touch on that. But also the defensive pressure that the Sapphires are putting on, like when Masala had the ball, she didn't feel good to give that in. So the defense pressure has been good for them so far.
We're trying to rush the shot. Goal does not count with seconds on the clock. 34-26, so that buffer of 8 that they sustained late in the second quarter stays as we head into half-time. And who's standing out for you at the moment, Son?
I just think the work that Audrey Little's doing in that front end and her combining with Brooke Lawrence has been good for that front end. And I think when they're working well in cohesion, it does affect and help out their shooters in Cadwell and Marshall.
I think they've got some blue cordial ready to go here. That's on brand.
Probably Powerade.
Of course, it probably is.
No one's drinking it, though.
I know, she's trying to offload it. And we've got some lollies there too. Oh, we might have to head over there at half time and get some of those.
Everyone's ignoring the physio.
Now, what about the Panthers, Sonia? Changes coming their way for the third quarter?
Yeah, I think they just need a bit more settle. I think they will talk to Rodwell in her feed. I think she just lost a bit of touch on her feed and rushing it a bit too much. And again, to get them to keep it short. So I reckon they will probably see Tavita coming back in that goal defence position. I think the combination between her and Bradley has been working for them. And they've actually caused a lot of turnover and a lot of grief for the Sapphires attack end. Obviously, with Marissa Mentis being brought on, just her movement, her quick change of direction, it's got the defence end again with Johns thinking about it, because Johns has got the leg speed. So we need someone who just not go on long runs, but will actually stop and break and change back. And I think Mentis is doing that. She's finding a bit more depth.
Now we're going to switch from Premier League to Super Netball for a little minute. How about your Swifts? Last week was a pretty impressive game, but just couldn't get the job done, unfortunately.
Yeah, definitely. You know, the Swifts were losing were missing the likes of Helen Housby. Obviously, they've also lost Kay Eady with a foot injury. So bringing in Katrina Rory in that back end is a new combination. It was good to see her fitting in well with the likes of Sarah Clow and with Maddie Turner at the back end. And obviously with Maddie Proud being gone, it's pushed Paige into that middle position. And bringing in young Tay Fraser, who's also part of the A&L. So I think the Swifts had a lot of movement in the last couple of weeks with injuries. So the fact that they can go out there and do such a good job and get that lead on the team like Lightning was really good. You know, it's unfortunate we didn't get the win, but it was good to see the girls out there working in combinations and starting to gel together.
And what about Helen Housby? So much was made of her omission from the squad. Does she really make that much difference to the Swifts?
Oh, yeah. You know, Helen is an international player. And I think, you know, when you look at the Swifts, they do have the likes of Helen Housby. They've got Sam Wallace, and the way that they combined really well in their attack end. So she's definitely missed in that goal attack position. And I think in a way it's been great for Sophie Garben to give her that opportunity. And I think she got the opportunity to start and to play out the game. And I think she took it. And she should be proud of what she put out there on the weekend.
Okay, now this weekend we've got a double header in Sydney. 4 of the top teams playing off against each other. I can't wait. It's going to be so exciting. Yeah,
the double headers are always good, and getting the netball, getting double the netball is always fun. It's also good for the crowd as well. So hopefully both New South Wales teams come back with a win.
So you're playing the Vixens?
Yes.
And how are you feeling about that matchup?
I think it'll be a good one. You know, Vixens are in that top 4 and vying for that spot in that top 4. You know, Swifts are guaranteed through to finals. So it's always a hard game against the Vixens. It's the McInnes Cup as well. So, you know, the Swifts do have a 10-goal buffer against the Vixens, which is good. So, number one, they want to obviously go away with the win and finish the season strong, but also keep a hold of that McInnes Cup.
And obviously from your point of view as a coach, I'm not sure if this really matters to you, but as a fan, would you like those double headers to be a little bit closer? Because at the moment we've got one game at about 3 and one at 5, or one at 3 and one at 7. So there's a massive gap there. So they're selling it as a double header, but really you've got to hang around for a long time in between those 2 games.
Yeah, and a lot of people won't, because obviously you've got to buy the 2 tickets still. So maybe it's a case.
Right.
I know they actually do clear the stadium and then reset it up from the orange to the red. So I've been in a bit of time, but yeah, it is a lot of hanging around. So I think for myself, I probably won't come in that early to watch both games and kind of watch it on my little phone screen.
So in a way, they're not really getting the benefit when it comes to the crowd, because some people are going to filter in, and unless they've bought both those tickets, they're going to have a fresh crowd each time. So it's not going to build on what they've already got there.
Yeah, but hopefully it's a sellout across both, so we'll see.
Yeah,
how the
fingers
memberships
crossed.
go, yeah.
Okay, well, we're going to take a little break before we come back for the third quarter. Stay tuned. Coming back after halftime, the difference is 8. Sapphires with a comfortable lead.
And only one change for the Panthers in the mid-court position, bringing on
Caitlin Begley, yes,
yeah,
the
into
captain.
the middle.
So that sends Rodwell to the bench. And maybe that makes sense given she was being played out of the game a little bit.
Yeah, she was. Her hand was also taped up, so that might have something to do with it as well.
Cantwell, quick work to Marshall, and Sapphire's quick straight on the board.
Yeah, and that was a better progress to the shot for them.
Meanwhile, Sapphires, they look unchanged.
No, they've made a change. So Holly O'Shaughnessy's gone back into that goalkeeper's position, and Tegan O'Shaughnessy's gone to the bench, which moves Steph McGugan out to go defence.
Now, do you think that's more about managing loads, or is it just to mix that up to keep it fresh?
I am unsure.
Good question then.
Yeah, that was a good question. I'm not sure.
(36-26), the difference now 10. That was quick. And Sapphire's looking to take another here. Marshall swinging. Long pass to Lawrence. But both shooters not good for the feed. It's a little bounce in there from Cantwell that went unnoticed.
Yeah, I thought that as well. And the Sapphires are loving that swing ball, so it was good to see the Panthers defenders not get drawn out on that swing and just kind of stay through that middle space.
Mentis with a long run up. You would have thought she was doing long jump, but McGugan straight on that ball. Nice intercept for the Sapphires.
Yeah, just a misplaced pass by Mentis. And, you know, with I guess with the change, as you're watching the Sapphires defence and with that change of Tegan going back, that on that line, that pressure on the line is not as tight as it was. So I think this is going to be a great opportunity and a great quarter for the Panthers to capitalise on that.
Cantwell straight out for the centre pass. Now to Little. Quick work to Marshall. They go 1-2 on the edge of the circle. And just next to the post, Marshall is strong again. 39 now.
And it's good connection between Marshall and Little. So they're going to be interesting to watch as the game keeps progressing.
Oh, lovely work. Mentis just bouncing into Makunde. Going low so the defenders couldn't get their hands to it. We're going to have to see more smart play from the Panthers if they're going to get rid of this big deficit they've got at the moment.
Yeah, they're going to just keep nicking away at it because it's gone out to 12 at the moment.
But some nice defensive pressure there. Spilling the ball from the Sapphires.
Yeah, definitely.
Talanoa.
So again, Johns is up in everything. So she's looking for those balls out from their defence end and flying for anything. She's just got to time which one she goes for, I think, a little bit more.
Mantis to Masala, quick work. And now Begley's got it at the top.
Little push in the back by O'Shaughnessy there, Masala. Malasala, I said Masala. Isn't that like a chicken masala? Like
I had never thought of it like that.
I was like, Malasala?
I wonder if she likes Indian. Maybe we should ask her.
She probably does, but wouldn't want her name to be mispronounced.
Yeah.
So again, good defensive pressure from the Sapphires. But good swing to open it up to Begley.
On the edge now, Malasala going to have a shot at it. Misses, but I love the confidence, son.
Yeah, she's not afraid to put out those long shots. And, you know, at that point, I think she just needed to make sure she did have an option. So the girl's just giving her an option just in case. 4
passes, and they're straight in front of that post with Marshall. The Sapphire is making really light work of the Panthers here.
Yeah, and they're getting more comfortable. So they've settled into this quarter better. Just a bit late by Russell, so she's going to have to readjust. Just a force ball in, so Sapphire's lucky to get that ball. They kind of flick between. Sometimes they're really patient in what they do and then they play, and then they rush it. And when they rush it, they get the turnovers. So I think Sapphire's got to just remember to be patient because it does actually open up for them.
Missed shot from Cantwell, and Bradley had a nice space to take that rebound. Begley coming back now. They're still looking for options over the top of all those long arms from the Sapphires. Malasala sailing through the air, grabs the ball. She goes to Mentis, now Begley, just moving in small increments. Makunde coming outside that circle, and Masala all on her own. No defensive pressure that time.
Yes, much better. Do you call her Masala?
Did I do it again?
Malasala.
Malasala, sorry.
And that's better.
Off the tongue.
That was better ball movement, placement from the Panthers. So let's hope they get some consistency throughout this quarter. 10 the difference.
Little looks left, looks right, finds Brooke Lawrence on the edge, and Cantwell again just on her own, no defensive pressure. So it would be nice to see those defensive circle pairing, them to just break up a little bit.
Yes, it's interesting because obviously you've got Petty out there against someone like Cantwell who is short, sharp and nippy. So I'm interested to know why they haven't put Petty back in that goalkeeper position and put Bradley back out into goal defence, because there is a speed difference. You know, Lauren Cantwell is quick. She does do a lot of cuts across the top of the circle. So, you know, Talanoa is going to have to keep up with her and cut her off her ankles, whereas I think she's just sitting back because she's going to be beaten on speed. And I think it's something that the Sapphires should take advantage of.
Well, Marshall was able to get the ball despite being in a Panthers sandwich then. 42-31, this lead blowing out to 11 now.
And that was a great feed in by Caitlin Begley to connect with Makunde.
We're still seeing some great passages of play from the Panthers. It's just a shame that it's not a consistent thing.
Yes, exactly.
Again, seeing that swing. Lawrence to Cantwell, and now through the net. They hit 43. Very comfortable out on court at the moment. Malasala giving it back to the Sapphires. I don't think she meant to do that.
Yeah, just a misplaced ball, I think, from Begley on that centre pass. So, again, just silly little mistakes creeping into the Panthers team. So, just got to tidy up and eliminate those unforced errors.
Skip high pass.
Again, Little and Georgia Marshall. The connection between them two is very good. And it's growing throughout the game. I think she's puffing a little bit too. She's doing a lot of work for that Sapphires front end.
Mentist around her player, but McGugan.
Yeah, again, misplaced ball from Begley and from the Panthers attack end. So, and McGugan loves anything in the air. So, you know, they've got to place that ball, use their fakes, which works for them to open up the defense and then place that ball in.
Lawrence to Marshall. Again, that combo strong.
Yeah, the quarter started to pull away from the Panthers. So, you know, they're going to have to look at making changes if possible. Their defense end is not as tight as it was. So they're going to have to just tighten that back up. And I think they're definitely missing Rodwell in that in the middle.
Begley, centre pass for the Panthers. She goes to Mentis. Running back is Malasala. And now Makunde. Maybe using her body to find some space then.
Yeah, and that was just a better feed in into Makunde from Malasala.
Fake from Marshall. She goes to Lawrence. And now Cantwell has it. Straight over the top of the tall defenders.
Yeah, so timeout called, which is what we expected, that Tavita will come back onto that goal defense position. So it seems like both of them are playing a bit of tag team here. And that was a better centre pass from the Panthers. 3 passes and into Makunde. So they are capable of it. It's just that consistency I think they're lacking at the moment.
Bradley just persisting with that annoying defense. Little deflections here and there.
So the confidence is starting to grow with the Sapphires attack end. And so it should. They find their space. They're placing great balls into their shooters, and the shooters are finishing off with a good shot.
Oh, long ball, Malasala, but O'Shaughnessy guarding the post at the back says no way.
Yeah, Russell just a bit late for that fly. Probably needed a pull out earlier.
Cantwell to Marshall in the air. And sailing up into that hoop.
Yeah, and again, you know, the Sapphires are finding good space in their attack end, and I think the work that Little is doing and Cantwell to open that up has been good for them. They've got strong drives, good speed, good movement, and good timing.
Now, we've of course got our bar TV cameras set up here tonight, but as we watch this centre pass, not sure if you can see top of the court on the other side. It looks like there's a Sapphires coaching member.
What?
Yeah, they've got a little camera set up.
Oh, yeah.
So they're obviously taking their own footage of this game. I wonder why they're shooting from that side of the court when they've already got footage they can watch here.
Well, you know, when you employ a video analysis, you want things done a little different.
Right. So
and
she
a bit
can change.
more thorough, yes.
Do you think she can change the camera angles that way?
No, I think sitting high up there, she cover the court better.
Okay.
So she's not far off from the bar TV from behind us. And you know what? She was the A&L video analysis, and I can't remember her name.
Oh, okay.
Can't remember her name.
I was going to say
she was only there for a couple games, so that excuses me, and I'm terrible with names. Again, another misplaced long bomb from Malasala, and they don't need to do that. What's working for the Panthers was the short and sharp, and now the Panthers are getting desperate, so they're starting to force these long balls when they don't need to. They're just going to play patient and just nip away at it.
Now, before I let this go, Son, you've coached in Premier League before. Did you guys do video analysis like that?
No, we didn't.
Okay, so that's something new that the Sapphires have brought in?
Yes, they might have a bit more funding than we did at NSU. So
I was wondering whether it might be a rival network all of a sudden popping up for Premier League.
Did you really?
No.
But then you mentioned it. We're like, what is this? rivaling bar TV. I don't know what they'd call it, though.
Yeah, I've got nothing. I was trying to
come
up
with something. I was trying to think of something. I was like dinner TV, bar TV, wine TV, just netball TV might work.
TV, yep.
And again, that was better patience from the Panthers attack end. But again, just the misplace of the ball in by Mentis. And, you know, Malasala was there at the front, so probably look for the easier option rather than throwing it into Makunde at the back end, especially with these two tall defenders against her.
The difference now, 18.
Oh, great interception by Russell off that center pass. And just building a bit more confidence into that Panthers attack end. It seems like they've come alive again.
Malasala with a free pass or shot here. And she is not going to miss from there. So 3 minutes, just over that, before the final break in this match. And Sapphires, you have to say, have a very strong hold on this match on the show court.
Yeah, they do, but, you know, what I'm liking is like the last couple of plays from Panthers have been good. And it's like they just need to be more consistent in what they're doing. It's the attacking stuff has been good. You know, they're just going to eliminate some of those errors. And that was good by the Sapphires. Finding space again and finding Marshall under the post.
Mantis out for the centre pass, looking to give the ball to Malasala, but McGugan just so strong at the back. However, Makunde's come up with a bit of an intercept of her own. Nice work.
Yeah, well done by her. And it's always good to see ghost shooters out there getting interceptions and finishing the shot.
Really good on the transition. Little strong in the air. And with Bradley coming out hunting, Marshall was left alone.
Yeah, and the fact that Bradley is coming out hunting, you know, that means that Russell has to do a bit more work and Little is finding a lot of space. So it feels like, I guess, for their attacking, especially with Bradley, it feels like they're playing one man down. Another silly error just brought in from that attacking of the Panthers.
Go again, just being called out by the coaching staff from the Sapphires.
Yeah, and like you said, if the Sapphires have lost the last 4 games, you know, it is important for their coaching staff. Are going to want to see a good performance from them today. So and I think that's what they're doing. The girls are delivering. So it'll be good confidence for their morale, especially moving into the last couple of weeks.
Little with a free pass here.
Yeah, Begley just being called out of play. And Cad was just looking for the quick 1-2. And again, Marshall just holding great space and position under the post and finishes the shot. And it's so interesting when you watch someone like Georgia Marshall, she's so relaxed when she's playing. She's such a good shooter and, you know, she holds such good position. Her timing is so good and she just looks so relaxed in her face. So it's always confident, I guess, for the attack end to see that.
Again, that no-look part from Malasala. It seems to be working for them, more of it.
Yeah, it is. So it's just hopefully they can just keep nipping away at their scoreline because it's blown out a little bit for them.
McGugan going 1-2 with Cantwell. And now Little. Straight to Lawrence. Looks to feed, just waits for Marshall to come back. And how was that triangle? That was beautiful work. Can't convert though. And Tavita is on the loose ball. Oh, pass too strong from Russell there. I think she was too keen.
That was a strong pass. That was a strong pass. But that was a good ball in from Steph McGugan into Georgia Marshall.
Sometimes, Sonia, when you're so far down and you get the ball, you're just so excited you don't know what to do with it.
Yeah. And you just become a bit desperate to get goals and just like you said, get the ball, get as many goals as possible and just throw the ball long. So they've just got to keep playing their short game because it's working for them.
Shot missed, but she'll get another chance with the whistle of the umpire.
And that's good finish by Malasala to take the Panthers to 40. So 18 the difference here.
Yeah, 58-40. It's quite a big gap between these two sides. Lots of high fives all around though. And heading into this little break here, Son, it's the last one of the game. What would you be saying to the Panthers so that they keep their heads up?
I just think they want to finish this quarter and they want to finish it strong. And I think they've shown us today that they're glimpses of good netball. And what is working for them is that short and sharp, like the look away passes, the use of their fakes does work for them. It's just as the scoreline starts to push out, they're just looking long and a bit desperate in their passes. They're just going to be patient and work the ball to the circle and into their shoots because Makunde has been good for them so far.
All right, now if I've done my maths correctly, is that 24? 58 minus 34? 24, sorry.
I can get my calculator out. My iPhone. Where's my phone? Actually, where is my phone?
24-14 for that quarter there. So Sapphire is really strong
in
the
they
championship quarter.
Yeah, they came out strong and they capitalised and they've just found their space in attack. So I think there definitely will be changes from the Panthers and some words from the coaches to her team.
Okay, final break, and we're going to take a little breath before we call it the final 15 minutes. 18 the difference, 15 minutes left to play. Can the Panthers come back, Son? What do you think?
No, I don't think they will come back. But I think what they can do is close the gap in this scoreline.
Okay, we're umpires getting us ready for these final 15 minutes of play. Jess Clay and Emma Burgess as Lawrence steps in for this final centre pass.
And there's been no changes across both teams, so I'm assuming the Panthers coach has just asked her team for more consistency. And I think when they show the consistency, they reap the awards in their attack end. And again, I guess Sapphires are looking just to build on their score and keep piling up these goals.
I was wondering whether the Panthers were going to switch up Bradley and Tavita, goal defence goalkeeper. Do you think that's a bad idea?
Yeah, I don't think they need to. I think Bradley is a bit taller than Tavita in that back, and I think she's done a good job. That first ball that goes in, every centre pass, she's actually not getting a hand to it. It goes in easy to Georgia Marshall, but as the quarter progresses, she actually comes alive. And I like what Tavita's doing on Cadwell. She just needs to maintain it. She's actually causing her to make errors. So I think that's a good combination. I just need to think they need to hold them up a bit more in that midcourt.
2 shooters inside the circle, 1 defender now. Easy feed into Cantwell, and now she'll get a free shot as well.
Yeah, they just had an easy walk into the goal, so Panthers just need to tidy up a little bit on their distance. And that was better defence on the line from Sapphire, so unfortunately John just got caught out of play. But it's good to see them again working together as a unit.
Begley to Makunde, asking for it again. Instead they try to go to Malasala. Missed.
But when you got Makunde under the post there to get your rebounds,
I'll
take those long shots too.
McCugan helped her get the rebounds then. She sort of pushed her into it.
I know we should give her an assist mark.
And Tegan O'Shaughnessy's just got changed too. You can't see her, she's off screen, but she's walking off now, so she's clearly done for the night.
Yeah, so probably done a recovery, and maybe it is because she's looking to take the court for the Giants on the weekend, so they're going to want her to recover as quick as possible in preparation for the weekend.
Mentis to Malasala. Giving it back.
And that was better patience play from the Panthers. And there's Tegan O'Shaughnessy walking behind screen.
Gave you a little look then, Sonia. Didn't know whether she was in trouble or not.
Yeah, because normally they're in trouble with me.
Do you have a good relationship with the Giants girls?
Yeah, because a lot of the girls played before there were 2 teams and became the Giants and the Waratahs. A lot of the girls were in the Waratahs. And it's good to see them. Like, it's good to see the talent and them all progressing in their netball and across both teams, whether it be, and we just have a little laugh and talk with them every time we cross paths. But I'm always secretly happy when the Waratahs finish above them.
Of course.
And I'll tease them about it too.
Lovely shot from Marshall.
Yeah, and that was from another flying deception from Steph McCook. She's done a lot of work at that goal defence position for her team and getting a lot of turnovers. So she's been good for Sapphires tonight.
Backhanded pass, Malasala to Mentis. Not happy to feed, trying to come back to reset.
Yeah, and I think there's times when Malasala actually can give that feed quicker. I think she just holds on to that ball a bit too long and then it's gone. So, like you said, we know Makunde can get those high balls under the post and she can take them. So it's just that, again, it's just that misunderstanding, I guess, between the 2 shooters and for Malasala to not give and confident enough to give that ball into her. Oh.
A bit of frustration there. Well, it would have been building all match, to be fair. It's been a really good contest for us watching.
Yeah, it has been. Just don't want anyone to get injured and his shoulders to pop.
Little, quick footwork. Oh, little deflection from Tavita. Sees the ball over the side.
Yeah, and she's been doing that all game, so she's been good for the Panthers in that back end, especially as the GD.
Little, throw in to Cantwell. Coming to the edge of the circle now. Lawrence feeds to Marshall. And she misses. We haven't seen many of those tonight, but...
No, we haven't. And that was a great rebound and drive up by Tavita. So she is good in the air for Panthers. So Panthers just getting a little bit stuck there, which is from the good defensive pressure from the Sapphires. And they reap the benefits, and that was a good pick up from Little.
Really nice read from the young mid-quarter. And she feeds straight away to Marshall.
Yeah, Marshall gets his second shot. So it's good to see someone like Audrey coming into the opens team, doing the work both in attack and defense for her teammates.
Oh, how's the work from Malasala? Collecting the ball in the air, regaining a balance, and then offloading around the side of a player.
Yeah, much better connection with Makunde.
She just has a presence on court, doesn't she? She's very calm, but the experience really just shows when you see passages of play like that.
Yeah. So a bit of a run-up on that centre pass from Mentis, but didn't phase that wall of the Sapphires. So I think the Panthers attacking actually need to take that wall a bit wider because they don't move much. Just a force ball in by Mentis again to Makunde on that baseline. So she's doing a bit of tiptoeing on that line. So she needs to find some more space.
The Sapphires just one step ahead of the Panthers each time.
Yeah, and a great drive and good work from Little down the court.
Smart work with the rebounds. And the Sapphires hit 65, so 20 the difference now. I think the Panthers will be disappointed by this given how close that first half was. Lawrence going 1-2 with Cantwell. That front cut finding her some space. Missed shot. Tian Bradley jumps on it though. And I think they really deserve some applause tonight, those two at the back.
Yeah, definitely. That's what I was going to say. They've done great work against shooters like Marshall and Cadwell to cause the mistakes. We just need that capitalise for the attacking to capitalise on these turnovers. And again, another misplaced wayward pass.
Johns, quick work to Marshall down low.
And the ball comes through the court so quickly from the Sapphires attack end. So, you know, Panthers got to get on it and get on it quickly in defence. But another miss. And again, a little tap between Bradley and Tavita.
There's been at least 3 missed shots this quarter, so I wonder if fatigue is starting to creep in.
Yeah, decision making. So again, bad pass, bad decision from Bradley. So again, they're back on defence trying to get that ball back.
Oh, lovely work. Unfortunately, it doesn't come off. But you cannot question the effort of the goal defending goalkeeper tonight.
No, I think that was good by her. I think she was brave to come out for that, and it's good that she actually got a tip on that.
And that's fatigue at its highest, isn't it?
Yeah, and errors are just starting to creep in for the Panthers front end. So, again, it's something that I think their coach and as a team they might have to address and just get that consistency back a little bit. Because you cannot be giving, I guess, a team like the Sapphires too many opportunities when they've got shooters like Marshall and Cardwell in the back of them.
It's just having a little look up at the other courts as Marshall takes another loopy feed from Little. Hart leading the Stingrays 49-27. Are you surprised by that, Sonia, given we saw the Stingrays beat the Hawks, who are a really strong side in this tournament, last week here on the show court?
No, I'm not. I did think the Hawks were missing players, and they were a little bit. I think they were a little bit messy last week. And the Heart have been in good form all season, and you know they're defending champions, and I think they're gonna have something to prove. So you'll be expecting them, especially in the lead up to finals, to be putting out good performances and consistent ones.
Okay, well, on the court next to them, the Hawks are leading Spark 64-44, so 20 points different there. And then the final court, United and the Fury. Wow, that's really close. 50-49 at the moment, United's way. Just one goal in it. Russell asking for time to be held. Just couldn't breathe, apparently. So...
yeah, and a little change by them. And I think Russell's been quite good for the Panthers in defence. So another rush ball, a misconnect between Malasala and Mentis. So the attack end of the Panthers is starting to fall away a little bit. And, you know, I guess he's going to want to finish his last 6 minutes strong.
The player that replaced Russell is Charlotte Laurie. So it's nice to see her be able to get a run out on court.
Yep, and I hope she can come on and just make an impact on the game and slow Little down a little bit, because Little's had a bit of a free run currently. And that was a good pass into Marshall from her. This is better ball movement from the Panthers. A bit more patience, finding space, a bit more time and release of that ball. Just a bit of balance from Makunde. Malasala for the long shot.
Oh, wow. Look, she can't believe it herself.
I think the attacker did so much work that it's good for their shooters to reward that. And that was a good feed in from Brooke Lawrence into Georgia Marshall, who nearly wasn't ready for that.
73-46. This is going to be quite a big defeat for the Panthers. But a nice win for the Sapphires, who, you know, just with a little edge, keep their season alive. It's going to be slim chance to get into that semis now, but I mean, you want to finish the season off strong either way, don't you, Sonia?
Yeah, definitely. In all preparation, your players want to put out good performances in preparation for next year as well. And that was a good finish by Cantwell.
4 minutes 30 to go. Sapphires with a chance to go back to back, although Little just mixing up what Brooke Lawrence was asking of her then.
So another opportunity for Panthers to get a goal. Just struggling a little bit from the good defence work from the Sapphires. That was a good fake by Lowry, but just misplaced pass into Mentis. I didn't get to see that one properly.
O'Shaughnessy with a lovely intercept, read it from the back. And Campbell just offloading to her shooting partner, Marshall, finishing off the job.
And you can hear from the Sapphires bench, they're going to want them to keep pushing and pushing that score out. So I wouldn't be surprised if they were aiming for 80 goals.
3 minutes 30, they've got time to do it.
And that was good patience from the Panthers attack end and a good time and pot from Makunde into the top of the circle.
Cantwell looking long to Lawrence overhead. Oh, the feed. She gave it before Marshall was ready.
Yeah, and against Davida, you can't underestimate her elevation onto those balls, and she's done a good job for that backhand for the Panthers. But
Jamie Johns.
Yeah, another missed wayward pass from Makunde across the circle. So again, Panthers are on defence.
Cantwell to Little, has the confidence to give it to her. And now a fair way out. Misses the shot, but Marshall, ball's gone out the back line.
I know, it's interesting. You watch the Sapphires, and when their shooters miss one, they actually tend to miss a couple in a row. So it'd be interesting to see what happens in this next lead up to post if the Panthers don't score and the ball comes back down court. Oh, that was good by Larry.
Yeah.
Little basketball move. And that was a good ball into Makunde.
Panthers edging towards 50. Malasala looking for options, has to come back to Tavita. Running backwards now, Mentis. Goes to Malasala on the edge.
Makunde did pop through in the last minute. They just missed it.
I think Malasala had one eye on Makunde then, that's why she missed the shot.
Yeah, she didn't look too confident on that and was deciding 50-50 whether to shoot it or pass it. But that was great transition from Sapphires to Georgia Marshall onto the post.
So all the under-23s players are creeping in behind us here. They're next up at 8:40 tonight. Same place you're watching this.
Bradley just been caught with her head down there and good feed into Marshall.
1:30 to play. Panthers centre. Mentis straight out. Going to Malasala through traffic. Begley back to Mentis. Again, Makunde putting her hands up, but they're not confident enough to give it to her.
Yeah, they're not, and I think that was working for them most of the game, and that was a better ball into Makunde from Begley.
A minute left. Can the Sapphires hit 80? Little. Cantwell with a front cut. 1-2. Sinks the goal. 2 off with a minute to play.
So we're expecting a good defensive effort from Sapphires on the line, just to slow the Panthers down and get that extra goal in. A better feed into Makunde from Mentis under the post. Just couldn't nail the shot. That's an unlikely shot miss from her. she did appeal to the umpires for a touch on the hand.
John's asking for Sapphires to come forward and help her out now. Cantwell looks to feed. Oh, they keep it in play, but it ends up with the Panthers. The pass into Marshall was no good.
Just way
forced
too
her
high.
off balance,
Forced pass. And they had 30 seconds. They didn't need to force that, because Panthers have had enough time to go down and score at the other end.
Makunde, will this be the last goal of the game? Panthers hit 50 with 3 seconds on the clock. 78-50, the difference 28. And it will be. So that's all she wrote for round 10 as the handshakes happen out on court. Son, what did you think of that game?
I just think Sapphires kept building throughout each quarter. They got stronger and stronger, and the opposite effect happened for the Panthers. So they started off strong and they were in the contest, but as the game built, I think they just got a bit sloppy in their passing, and as fatigue kicked in, the decision making went a little bit out the window.
Well, that third quarter for the Sapphires was certainly very strong. They scored the highest amount in a quarter then, 24 goals, and this final quarter, 20 goals is pretty impressive too, but obviously a lot of work done in this second half.
Yeah, definitely, and I think for them it was like they were looking forward to be consistent, and I think they actually did that today.
Now, have you got a player in mind for player of the match?
Yes, I actually like the work from the Sapphires. I think all of the Sapphires front end were good today, but I just think having Audrey Little in there, the wing attack, I think that young girl worked hard in attack for the whole game, and she worked hard in defence. So, like I said before, it is good to see a wing attack not only just feeding, but also getting defensive turnovers, and she did a good job.
Okay, well, let's go grab Audrey Little, and we'll see you all in front of the camera very shortly. Joining us for the post-match analysis is Audrey Little, Sonia's player of the match tonight. Your first time in the Opens, you killed it, absolutely killed it.
Thank you. Yeah, I was really nervous to start with, but like all of the girls really helped me and supported me through, and I couldn't have done it without them, so yeah.
For someone who was nervous, you were in all attacking plays, you got out for the centre passes so easily, and you got turnovers defensively. How did that feel out there?
It felt good, but like it was just, I think the start of the game, Mel was just like everyone do their job and everyone defensively one-on-one. And so like it doesn't really matter who got it, but it was like the team's effort who did it.
Yeah, it was, and I just think you got loads of turnover, you put a lot of work in, and that connection with Georgia Marshall was like you guys have played together for a while. So this is your first hit with her?
Yeah, it's actually quite funny because she was coaching me in Schools Cup like not even less than a month ago. So coming out here, it was really cool playing with her. Yeah, it was really fun.
Now, because you've played a full game for the Opens, you can't play for the under-23s tonight, is that right? So what's the situation with them? What's their goal tonight, do you know?
I think we have a goal at the start of each game, and say last week it was intensity, so just really executing what we do in training and, just really working as a team and, bringing down the court in transition really nicely. So.
All right, well, they're coming up next at 8:40 on Bar TV YouTube and also the Netball New South Wales Facebook page. Thank you, Audrey, for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Well done.
And we look forward to having your company for the under-23s.